Hey, folks, welcome to another version of Stories with Ori. You know, I get fed up watching other YouTubers coming out doing lies and all that there. Okay? They lie, they lie, they lie. Where they get their information or where they make this stuff up. And they get a lot of followers. They got a lot of followers, people listen to them. And they use really good things, good titles. Huh? And they, there's this thing going around. You're going to have lunch. Has anybody, somebody keeps trying to call me here. Anyway, look at, I spoke to two prison guards. One who works in MDC. A friend of mine in New York City put me in touch. Diddy is not being tormented, okay? This guy Morelli, whatever his name is over there in England, okay, says he's being tormented, all right? It's so much bull. It's crazy, okay? It's crazy. He's not being tormented by other inmates. Diddy is in a unit. It's called a high profile. It's sort of a special housing with only 20 inmates. Your average units at MDC Brooklyn house 120 inmates. He's there with 20. They are all high profile cases like Diddy. I said this a million times before. Guys like Sam Bankman, the Bitcoin guy. Guys like Mangione, all right, with the United Healthcare guy that he unalived in New York. It's a video of it. He's getting ready to go to trial. It's those guys from Abercrombie Fitch, okay? The Alexander brothers are probably there. High profile cases, folks. He's not being tormented. There's probably even some, they put police officers, law enforcement people, okay, to protect them. They probably put them in that unit, okay? I know, just like where Harvey Weinstein was in New York, I know for a fact. I knew what Harvey Weinstein was doing on a daily basis because he was in prison in upstate New York, in Rome, New York, where I was born. Well, I happen to know a lot of people, and a lot of people work at the prisons there. So, Morelli, okay, you other people that try to come out with these lies, why don't you get real, tell the truth, because the truth will always prevail. All right? Why is Diddy torments himself like every inmate that's waiting for sentence. You see, you folks here, and thank you all for coming. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit that like button and everything else, all right? And folks, anybody there, if you won the lottery, please give me a good, big thanks over here. Hit that thanks button and take care of this old man. Show a little love. So anyways, what was I going to say? Diddy's got a PR team out there that's working for him. And they're the ones starting all this stuff. And they're playing off the R. Kelly playbook. If you remember, R. Kelly was saying he was afraid that the guards were going to unalive him. Now, we haven't heard nothing about that since. I'm going to tell you what I think probably happened, okay? The Bureau of Prison probably said, "Oh, you're a fear? Okay. Well, we'll make sure you're not in fear anymore." And they put him in a special housing unit by himself. Now, the special housing place where, like Jeffrey Epstein was, okay, there's only one person to a cell, okay? And sometimes they might put two. That's it, okay? But more than likely, it's only one, like where Jeffrey Epstein. They got very few cells like that at MDC or at any detention center. A detention center is where you go while you're waiting trial, waiting to be convicted, or whatever, okay? And then once you are sentenced, you're sent to a regular BOP prison somewhere in the United States. Where will Diddy go if he gets a sentence? More than likely, he can go to Otisville. They could put him in Coleman, Florida. They could put him, I don't know where they're going to put him. That decision's up to the Bureau of Prison. Hello, Kansas, how are you? Everybody, thank you so much for coming here this morning. Please hit that subscribe button, okay? Hit that thanks button, okay? You all did very well the other day when I was in front of Diddy's house. And so I wanted to say that. Diddy, you're tormented yourself. I went through it 4 times. I had 4 different cases in my life, okay? And every time I had to go for sentencing, I was tormenting myself because I'm not in control. See, this morning you woke up, you were able to have your coffee, you decided what you wanted for breakfast, you could eat anything you want, you decided, hey, I want to go watch Ori, so you came here, okay? Diddy can't do none of those, all right? The breakfast he eats, if he does eat the food at MDC. Now, when I was in MDC, us Italians, we had our own table, just like you see in the movies, okay? We had a couple guys that would cook meals for us, okay? We had access to people that worked in the kitchen, so we were able to purchase different things that we can cook with, all right? I didn't eat the food in prison. Very seldom did I even go to the mess hall. And Diddy is no different because you have the commissary. I ate tuna fish for 5 years. Tuna fish or mackerel is what I ate for 5 years. And I would mix it up with different things, onions or whatever, somebody from the mess hall that I could purchase, okay? And mix it up with cheese or other items that I can get from the commissary. Diddy's no different. He's no different than any other inmate. So for all you YouTubers are saying he's being tormented, we all are tormented because we are no longer in control of our destiny. Our destiny is being controlled by one single person. And in Diddy's case, his name is Judge Aaron Subaramian. That Diddy's very worried. He don't know if he's going to get time served or he might get 10, 20 years. We don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Who knows? But Judge Sarah. And he's got a pile of work that he and his legal team is going through to make a determination of how much time he will give Diddy. Now, a lot of things can happen before this or maybe after this here, okay? So did I clear? I hope I cleared that up. Folks, I just hung up 2 minutes before I came here with another prison guard to verify what the other one said, okay? So for that guy over there in England who wants to come out with his crap, okay? Are you talking to guards? You can't pick up the phone, call NDC Brooklyn, and ask how Diddy's doing. They're not going to tell you nothing. They're going to hang up on you. Okay? Well, your grandfather knows me? Cats. Oh, I know a lot of people named Cats. All right? Oh, I had my coffee, folks. This is my fourth cup. And as I told you, I mix it with espresso. Now, I'm very irritated with the U.S. attorneys of the United States of America, land of the free, home of the brave. Let's go back. Well, I'm going to go back to James Comey. James Comey was a terrible liar. He lied. Why the U.S. Then you got the Garland, who did nothing. All right? Nothing. And now we got Pam Bondi. Honest to God, I was happy when Trump appointed her. Okay? And because I really thought that she was going to do a great job. But, you know, I watch her, I watch all these other girls. You know, they're on TV all the time. They're doing advertising, okay? They're doing advertising of how they're doing on immigration, what they're doing on crime in Washington. Maybe they're going to do it in Chicago. Maybe they'll do it in Los Angeles, other places, okay? They don't talk about real stuff. What are they doing? They're not going to show you the names on the Epstein file, okay? Because there's very influential and big money people there, okay? I'm very disappointed. And I'm going to tell you who's behind this. All right? Netanyahu and the Mossad, okay? Someday I talked about it before, and I'm going to do it again on another show, okay? But they upset me like you can't believe. Damian Williams was the U.S. attorney who indicted Diddy. He was head of the Southern District appointed by Joe Biden. And for those people who say I'm racist and say, why am I after a black guy? I talk about white guys. I'm not racist, so give me a break there. Damian Williams happened to be black, and he's the one who indicted the first time P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever you want to call him, okay? Don't ever trust a guy that's got a lot of different names. He left when Trump became president. So yeah, the trolls come in because they're all part of Diddy's crew, all right? They're being paid. They don't even know Diddy. They never met him, okay? Don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't see anybody hitting that thanks button today, okay? Oh, well, guess none of you won the lottery either. So anyways, yeah, I get distracted because I get so upset. Marie Comey, who is James Comey's daughter, ended up taking the case. She could have hammered Diddy terribly. I don't believe she really wanted to. I believe the only thing she wanted was what they got when they raided Diddy's homes. All the videos and all the information of the people that were at Diddy's freakout parties. Okay? There were probably a lot of people higher and bigger than Diddy. Okay? And these are people with a lot of money. These are the people that determine a lot of things in the country. Remember, our country is not controlled by who you see in Washington. It's controlled by the people behind the scenes of those people. Okay? Boy, Lindy, you got a lot of work. A lot of trolls are coming in. Oh my God. Keep coming, folks. And folks, look it. Give me a like. And if you don't like what I say, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. Okay? I'm a man. I can take it. All right? Yeah, Kimo is a puppet master. Anyway, so I'm really fed up. There's Sonia. Sonia always comes through. God bless you, my dear. So, going back to the Diddy trial. All right, it was a terrible, terrible indictment. Because she could have brought other charges, but she didn't. She could have brought charges about the girls that were underage. We hear about it, but nobody talks about it. Now, I first discovered this on Ticket TV, this guy Ticket. That's when I found out. I did a brief little research. All right? And let me read to you, okay? The girl's name is Anna Kane. Now, she filed her civil lawsuit not long after Cassie Ventura did. So, Maureen Comey knew this. She had to know it. She did nothing. This Anna Kane has photos, documents. She's got all the receipts. There's no question from anything else. And maybe Pamela, it's possible. Protect her father. I don't know if her father had anything to do, so I can't say that. No, I think she either was paid, okay, and I don't know. All right, but let's go back to Anna Kane here. Anna Kane is a SA accuser. In a civil lawsuit, you all know what I mean when I say SA, a civil lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, the former wife of the National Hockey League player Evander Kane, initially filed her case under the, I can't say the word, Poseidon Jane Doe, but was later ordered by a judge to reveal her identity to proceed with the lawsuit. And she did that, okay? She gave her real name, so now the world knows who she is. In her December 2023 lawsuit, I think Cassie's was November, maybe, was it? Does anybody remember? I think Cassie's lawsuit was in November. Oh, she alleges that Combs, former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre, and another man, S.A. her, in a New York recording studio, in 2003 when she was 17. The suit claims she was brought to New York by Pierre and given drugs and alcohol before she was assaulted by all three of these guys. Three of them. 17-year-old girl. We all know what happened. Okay? There's my buddy Wyatt. How you doing, Wyatt? Thank you. All right? Of course, Sean Combs denies everything. Now look, every defendant always denies everything. So there's no big deal about that there. All right? There is no statute of limitations on SA cases in New York State or in the federal. So there's possible New York State can bring charges against Diddy. They could bring an indictment just for this one case here on Diddy. Now, you got Alvin Bragg. I think he's the district attorney in New York. Will he bring charges? He brought him against Donald Trump, him and the other girl, Felicia, what her name was, Letitia James, I think it is, okay? They brought charges against President Trump. But I don't know if they got the guts, because people are fearful of Diddy. People are fearful. There's too many rumors about all these people that suddenly became unalive around them, okay? And there's so many of them that they gotta be true. What do you think? Leave me a comment, okay? When there's fire, that much fire, something's gotta be happening, okay? Federal crimes or child SA abuse, there is no statute of limitation for criminal prosecution. This allows federal prosecutors to file charges at any time, no matter how long ago the offense occurred. Okay, now we got Jay Clayton, appointed by Donald Trump. He's asking the judge to give upwards of the guidelines on Diddy's sentencing. He's really going after him. Okay? Will he bring other charges on this case? Now, you all know about all these civil lawsuits against him. There's like 100. 25 of those are people saying they were underage, allegedly, or whatever it might be. Thank you, Mel. I hope Jesus does love me. Okay? And I love you all. I want you to know that there. I want to thank you all for coming here. All right? And please help me out. Subscribe, do that thanks button. Okay? Hope someday maybe I'll win the lottery and I don't have to ask you anymore. But, you know, okay? So, all right, I read that to you. So, do you understand? Leave me a comment, folks. Okay? I come here, I tell you the truth. I give you the facts. I give you the receipts. I don't make shit up like some of these guys, okay? And they got 500,000 subscribers. What's happening with our world? And you know what? It's no different. People watch cable news. And you're getting lies from all the networks, just not one. Red, blue, don't make a difference, okay? Thomas, how are you? There's my friend Lindy. Click Ori's name. Hey, by the way, folks, you know, sometimes some of you like to send me money to my Cash App. My Cash App is down, so you can't send money to me through there. I don't know what happened. All right, they're checking things out, and they say it takes 30 days. But my Venmo and my PayPal is there. Okay? And, I wanted to show you folks something. Hey, stay here. Okay, let me get something. Okay. That's where I want to. If you go to my website, you see this. Okay? This is This is my face. Okay? And I only got 2 left. And I think they're like $250, $249. All right? And they're available if anybody wants one. Okay? And I would autograph it for you on the back. You can hang it on your wall. So anybody would like to purchase. There's only 2 left of these, folks. So I wanted to show you that. Because a lot of people really don't go and visit the website, okay, to find out who I am and more information about me. But it's all back there. I don't like talking about Diddy. But everybody wants me to talk about Diddy, so I do it. All right? And I give you factual information about him. I know MDC. I spent 30 months. 30 months. That's 2.5 years. Diddy has been there. This is September. 1 year. Okay? I'm 80 years old, funny age. 80. I'm a young 80, though, I'll tell you that much. So, folks, when people on YouTube purchase my book here, okay, and they purchase an autographed copy, I call them up on the phone, I thank them, and I have a free conversation now with whoever purchased my book. So if you want to talk to me personally, okay, you can purchase my book through my website and get an autographed copy, and I will call you. But yesterday I had an this girl read my book 2 days, okay? Took her 2 days. Now I called her when she first purchased it. She got it 2 days ago. She finished it yesterday, okay? And told me how much she loved it, how much a real book was. It's the best gangster book she ever read. It's true, it's facts, okay? And then we got into a discussion about Michael Franchise and Sonny Franchise and what the real truth is. Okay, see, I told her things that I know, all right, that Michael says that are not true. And I explained it to her because I could back it up with receipts, because I was friends with Sonny for close to 50 years, okay? And I don't know if a lot of you follow that stuff, but you would see that there's a video out there was on I was indicted with Sonny 2008, okay? And before, I had an apartment in New York City, and so I was back there. I spent average of 10 days a month in New York City. And Sonny and I would be together the entire 10 days. He stayed with me in my apartment or my suite at the Warwick Hotel, okay? And Anyways, there's a tape of Sonny talking about things that he did in a kiddie pool. How he would, I gotta be careful what I could say here. How after he made somebody unalive, of how he dismantled it in kiddie pools. And so I remember one day we took a drive. He wanted to see his sister, and she lived way out in Long Island. I want to say Washington. The actual was Washington something off the Long Island Expressway. Okay, went there. Very nice lady. We went in. We had coffee, and of course, you know, Italians. You always got food. All right, and when we leave, we're standing. Me and Sonny are on front porch, and then down in the yard is a kiddie pool. And he looks at me. He says, "Hey, buddy," he says, "you never met my younger sister. His younger sister passed away." He says, "She was like you and I," he said. She said, "She helped me." Right there in that kiddie pool. I'll never forget that. You know, a lot about, so I was trying to find his sister's name. So Sonny's got a Wikipedia. I looked it up. Would you believe there's 59 pages? A Wikipedia of Sonny is 59 pages. So I didn't print it out, but I printed a couple pages out here that I read you can get a kick out of. Okay? Now, in 2005, under Thomas Gioli, who's a really good guy, I love Tommy, he was the acting boss of the Colombo crime family, and he made Sonny again the underboss of the Colombo crime family. All right? Yes, Sonia, that's exactly what I'm saying, dear. Okay? 2005, I'll never forget it. Because Johnny came out here, and Johnny was very upset that Sonny took the position of underboss again. Okay? So, Johnny said, "You can talk to the old man. You can talk to my father," he said. Johnny was very upset about it. Johnny's the one who became an informant against Sonny and me and other people. Okay? So I flew back to New York. I said, "Sonny, what the hell are you doing?" I said, "You don't need this position." I mean, I'm not talking to a guy that's 50 years old. Okay? He was 90-something years old at the time. "Hey, buddy," he says, "it's good for us." He said, "You'll see." Yeah, it was good for us, Sonny. We all got indicted. That's what happened. There's somebody from the UK. Thank you for joining me. Okay? So, Frank Shays was again promoted Colombo family underboss in 2005 for the first time since his 1967 imprisonment by Thomas Gioli, just what I said. However, in May 2007, Frank Shays was again returned to prison for a parole violation. You know, Sonny initially, way back in 70s or late 60s, he got indicted and convicted of robbery. He got 50 years. He did 12 years. He got out in 1978. That's when I met him, 1978. So that's how long I go back with Sonny. Okay? So when we all got indicted, Sonny was, I think he was in a prison in Ohio. Okay? All right? In June 2008, Franchise was still incarcerated, was indicted on charges of participating in murders during the Colombo Wars of the early 1990s, stealing fur coats in New York City in the mid 1990s, and participating in home invasion by police impersonators in Los Angeles in 2006. Guess who the manager of that was? See, under the RICO Act, Sonny wasn't here, okay? But Sonny could be convicted under the RICO, the bosses, the underbosses, and so forth. They can be indicted for the crimes of the people below them, okay? So I was the manager of that home invasion, they call it, here in Burbank, California. And on June 4th, 2008, Sonny, along with 14 other of us, all got indicted, and we all ended up doing some time. Okay? You can find out more about that there, all right, in my book. All right? Folks, come on. Can you help me out here with a thanks button? We got anybody there? Even if you only do $2, show some love for me, folks. Okay? There's Nancy Flowers. All right, God bless you, Nancy. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to get this up to, 40, $50. All right, if we could. Okay? Now, if anybody wants to, I'm going to do a deal tomorrow, maybe. Okay? Hello, Marlboro. Marlboo. Yes, John, I was in the Army, probably 3 great years. I served our country from 1963 to 1966. I was with the 25th Infantry Division, and I proudly served and dishonorably discharged, and I helped veterans out an awful lot. What I could do, I go to the VA hospital here in West LA, and yes, John, and I don't talk about it, John, but yes, the answer is yes. Okay. You know, one thing about being in the military, folks, I'm very disappointed they got rid of the draft, because I firmly believe that if we still had the draft, we wouldn't be having all this garbage, all this crime, and all these things that we're having. Because what the military does is they take a boy and they make a man out of him, okay? They make a man and they teach him honor, loyalty, and respect. In today's world, where's the respect gone, okay? Jennifer asked me, do I know what they did with Jimmy Hoffa? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what they did. They didn't put him in a barrel and drive him to New Jersey. Okay, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. From that restaurant, they brought him to a house nearby, and right away they went like that there. And then immediately they took him to a factory in downtown Detroit. And that's where he was turned into ashes. And isn't it funny, 2 weeks after that there, that whole factory burned down in Detroit. What's that mean? No evidence. So all these wild goose chases and all this stuff, okay, a lot of it comes from wannabe historians. Oh, let me talk about historians. You know, the YouTube, all right? You got all these people who never had anything to do with the mafia, don't really know what the life is, don't know what the politics, okay, don't know nothing except for what they could dig up from court files, from Google, from wherever, okay? And then they become mob historians. When I talk to you, I could tell you I was in the room. Yeah. So there's a difference between those historians. Who do I think is the best historian? He's not on YouTube. My dear friend, Nick Pileggi, who wrote Goodfellas and Casino and others. All right? He knows more. He was a reporter for the New York Post, Daily News, one of them, okay? He grew up in the neighborhood. He knew the guy. He went to the court cases. He didn't have to go and look up documents. He was there in the courtroom, okay? And I'm talking about the old guys, people that I knew, like Frank Costello, Meyer Lansky, and a lot of the other old timers, okay? We're still getting those trolls in here, huh? Folks, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, then what are you waiting for? Okay? So please hit that subscribe button. All right? I want to try to level off maybe at 20, 25,000. I'm not looking to get the million because I want to keep it because I got the most intelligent people that are subscribing to my network. Okay, I got people, I believe you all believe like I do, honor, loyalty, and respect. Okay, so I don't want a million, I don't want to overdo it because if you know, how many people do you know that reply to each and every one of you when you leave a comment? Whether it's just a like or a heart, all right? I reply back. How many do you know on YouTube that do that? Okay? See, that means I care for you. Okay? I care for you. Everybody else thinks they're the United States government. They lie that they take care of you and they want to be, all right? But then they do nothing when they get elected. And don't get me started in politics because it's not a winning challenge to discuss politics. But I do put down the U.S. attorneys. Why don't they start doing their job? Okay? There's so many criminals out there. But if it was Italians, they'd arrest them. An Italian, they arrest. And they call it the Mafia. So, Pam Bondi, stop lying to us. Get off your chair and start doing some work for the American people. Cash Patel, the same. Okay? Well, Lindy, we must have had 100 people here today under review. Oh my God, look at them, they're coming up. Boy, these trolls hate me, folks, but they got no guts. No guts. I was right at Diddy's house. I'll go any place, okay? They're just part of Diddy's propaganda. He's got a PR machine out there, folks. Okay, he's doing every single thing he probably can. Okay? He's nervous. He's tormenting himself, just like every inmate that's waiting to be sentenced. It's tormenting because you don't have any control. No, Patrick, never did snitch, never would snitch. Okay? Jennifer Trasher, thank you so much. Okay, I appreciate that, Jennifer. Thanks. The truth is hard to find. And boy, you're so right. Okay? Alright? You're welcome, my friend, for answering each and every one of your questions. Okay? Folks, it's time consuming. It takes a lot of work, but I do it. Okay? Oh. Well, folks, look, we're, YouTube takes 30% of what I get. We're only at $19 here. All right, can you get me over a little hump here? And somebody else bring in a thanks. All right, even if it's $1.99, get me over the mark. It said 19.20. Okay. The Sonny Franchise. I'm going to do a whole story on him. You know, folks, when I began my YouTube, I wanted to get more involved in the motivation, helping people out. I wanted to be honest and truthful, just like I was when I wrote my book. Okay, honest and truthful, no lies. And, one of the things this gal that bought my book, actually she lives in Utah, and she said, your book is remarkable. It's a really book. It's got an index in there. It's got a prologue. It's got an epilogue. Folks, I do not buy anybody's book. First thing I look when I want to read, if I want to read against somebody gangster's book, which I don't read many, all right, I look in the back and see if there's an index, okay? If there's no index, I put that book back on the bookshelf. My book has an index, plus much more. Okay? One thing that people really love most, all right, are the letters that I wrote at the end of my book. There's a letter to Sonny Franchise. Letter to my dear mate from London, Joey Pyle. Joey Pyle was the best, okay? And one thing about me, Joey, and Sonny, you know why we had the love and the respect and everything that we had? It's because we knew that if we went out and we did something illegal and one of us got caught, that the other can go home and go to bed and sleep comfortably and put his head on the pillow because he knew he wasn't going to snitch. You don't have people like that today. You got guys that come out here like they were really tough guys, like Sammy Gravano. He's a snitch. Johnny A. Light, he's a snitch. Sigali, he's a snitch. Michael Frank Stage, he's a snitch. And the list goes on and on and on. Stephen, you want to go out and rob a bank, you can rest assured. If I got caught, you can go home, put your head on your pillow and sleep. But I'm not going to go out and rob a bank, folks. Okay? No, I'm not confusing fear with love. Okay? Now, Crack the Sky, make gangsters great again. Those days are over. It's past. We're in a new time. We're in a technology world. Everything's technology. I mean, you go to the grocery store today, you gotta go in with your phone because they have special prices and you gotta clip the coupon on your phone. I mean, why? Why don't you get a special price, give it to everybody, all right? Don't you folks think that's crazy? You know, I get a lot of people that ask me how old I am, okay? You know, on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. When somebody sends me a friend, I look up their profile to see who they are, okay? I don't just accept them or reject them. I find out who they are. You can go to my website and find out an awful lot about me. Or you can purchase my book. Or Google my name. I'm out there, folks. I don't run, I don't hide. Everything you want to know is out there. Okay? Jen, you read my profile on Amazon. Yeah, she is there. All right, thank you, Jan. 1944. You're right. December 17th. Don't forget. All right? My coffee's getting cold. And by the way, you know, yesterday I had coffee at Starbucks over in Westwood with a gal that I met through right here on YouTube, who happened to live right here in Los Angeles. All right, with her and her mother. Her mother is a big fan of mine, and I forgot her name over here. I think it's Precious something. Linda, do you know? Precious something. Is she in here? I don't know. All right. All right, everybody. I'm going to answer one more question. Somebody come up with a good question, all right, before I go. Are we clear on the Diddy thing? Anybody got any more questions? Thank you, Lindy. Anybody got any more questions? Diddy is not being tormented. He's tormenting himself like every inmate is. So, no, Carlo Gambino I never met. I met other Gambinos, several of them. His son, his nephew, but I never met Carlo, no. Oh, this thing about Diddy eating maggots, it's so ridiculous. All right, first of all, maggots ain't going to kill you if you are eating them, okay? The food stinks. Yes, the food is lousy in prison. Folks, you're in prison. All right, they're not sending you on a vacation to Hawaii. Prison is prison. Wake up. It is what it is. They haven't done anything to rebuild, revamp, update any of the prisons since they built them. Okay? You got rats running around in them. Terrible. Plumbing problems all the time. Electrical problems. Any kind of problem you could think of, they happen on a daily basis because our prisons are so old. But yet, United States is 5% of the world's population. 5%. But yet, we house 25% of the world's inmates. Do you understand that there? We're 5% population, but we house 25%. That's more than China. That's more than all Russia. That's more than all these countries that they tell us are so bad all the time. Okay? What's that tell you? What's wrong? Why do we have more prisoners in the United States than any other country? Why? Population here is 340 million people in the United States. China's got billions of people. Well, prison equals money. There you go. That's the answer. Okay? Our country don't care about you. Our government don't care about us. All they care. Why is it that in the United States, when somebody becomes a congressman or a senator, they are instantly become multimillionaire? Multimillionaire. Take that girl, I used to like her, out of New York, pretty gal, Acosta, AOC they call her. She's a multi-millionaire. By representing the people, by having a job that you make $170,000 a year, and now all of us, she came from being a bartender. So the American dream's there, folks. All you got to do is get elected into office, and you're wealthy for the rest of your life. How's that there? Actually, that's a good subject. I should talk more about that. Okay? All right, everybody. It's been an hour. I love you all. I want to thank you all. God bless you all. All my love and respect. And as usual, everybody have a safe day. God bless.